Shalom. First and foremost, call Loyum La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well that taught us this truth. And much love, greetings, and salutations to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect, that are scattered throughout the four winds of heaven, are preaching his gospel in truth and sincerity. And I'm entitled this lesson, It's Getting Hot, Wars and Rumors of Wars. And if you are paying attention, which the scriptures tell you to measure the times diligently in itself. And basically what we're seeing is, more turmoil and more conflict that's going on between America and their arch nemesis or their arch rivals, that being Russia, China, and Iran. And there was just an occurrence today, which based off of this report that I'm about to play, according to this video, that American submarine got torpedoed and sunk off of the Alaskan coast. And they're saying that basically it was a retaliation from Russia, because Russia, they had a submarine that actually caught fire, and 14 of their crew members died of, I guess, the poison, because the I guess the flames caused the poison to vaporize into the air, and they were breathing it in, and it caused them to die. So Russia basically retaliated. All right. So it's getting hot. And then you had the vice president, Mike Pence, that devil. He was on his way to I guess a meeting or a conference in New Hampshire, and they Air Force Two had to basically turn around. They had to leave and go right back. All right. And I guess it was Trump that actually sent that decree for him to basically return and don't even go, because serious shit is popping off. Okay. So matter of fact, before I play this clip, let me get the scripture here in Habakkuk. And these are the things that we're supposed to watch for, being watchmen. There's Habakkuk 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, and we're at the time where these different prophecies are beginning to speak. All right, and we're supposed to report that to our people, to let our people know that the day of our salvation is near, that the Lord's getting ready to bring judgment to the world. All right, so without further ado, let me play this video.
Article entitled American Submarine Torpedoed and Sunk Off Alaska Coast. It's from the Hal Turner radio show, and this happened today, just a few hours ago. It says an American submarine operating off the coast of Alaska was reportedly torpedoed and sunk during a firefight with a Russian submarine, after the American sub allegedly intercepted the Russian sub in American waters. The Russian submarine allegedly sustained heavy damage in the fight, with upwards of 14 crew killed, but it made it back to its base in Russia. I have calls into the Pentagon and to my intel sources seeking to confirm or deny this information. No word on U.S. casualties. Emergency meetings have been taking place at the White House this afternoon, with Vice President Pence being called back to the White House and having to cancel his scheduled trip to New Hampshire. As Pence was being called back, word broke in Russian media that Russian President Vladimir Putin canceled a public event he had long scheduled and diverted immediately for a meeting with his defense minister. At that meeting, both Putin and the defense minister summoned the general secretary of the Russian armed forces to the meeting. While that was taking place, the European headquarters in Brussels, Belgium, called an emergency meeting of the EU National Security Council, and separately the British government called a Cobra meeting for its government. This is a developing story. Check back for updates, and I will put the link in the description box.
And let me get Matthew 24 and verse 6. And it says, "And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And that's what we're experiencing. This is how we know that we're getting that much closer. All right. You got a lot of outbreaks, epidemics going on. You got the dengue, you got the Ebola, which that went under the radar. They don't even talk about that no more. But there's growing cases of that all around the world. Okay. You got the measles thing. All right. But you have Florida McQueen. He had did a report, on the theory as to why Pence, was made to turn around instead of going to New Hampshire. He said that, they up there in Montreal, Canada, there's a measles outbreak, and that's only 150 miles away from, the area or the location in New Hampshire. So he implied that, that's one of the reasons why they, forced the plane to turn back around. But here we see us even a more serious picture where you got actual aggression taking place upon the coast of Babylon. This happened right close to home. So yes, shit is getting heated. It's getting hot. And it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. All right. Now I was able to find this article right here going into, what's going on. There's like an update on the report. All right. Let me wait for this to load real quick. Now, mind you, the fact that Russia has one of their submarines, close by the shores of America, you have the Russian press that came out and said that, that the submarine is used for special operations, but this particular submarine, the U.S. had claimed that it has the capabilities of damaging undersea cables, which would basically enable or disrupt, American communications. All right, so I guess they felt threatened by them being there. So there was basically a firefight between them, and the Russian submarine caught fire and 14 men died, but they managed to get back to their base. Okay, so this is from the Depka file. It says urgent consultations in Washington, Moscow on reported U.S.-Russian submarines and firefight. It says first reports reaching Depka files. Military sources say that a U.S. submarine intercepted a Russian nuclear sub in American waters opposite Alaska. The Russian sub escorting the nuclear submarine responded with a Boken 2000 torpedo and scuttled the U.S. vessel. Urgent consultations in both the White House and Kremlin were taking place on Tuesday night. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence called off an appearance in New Hampshire after being recalled to Washington for a conference called by President Donald Trump without explanation. Russian President Vladimir Putin canceled an engagement and headed for Kremlin to confer with Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and military chiefs after learning that 14 submariners died in a fire that broke out on a nuclear-powered experimental submarine in Russian waters. This account carried in Russian Media varies in most respects from the first reports reaching this site and may refer to a separate incident. They report between 14 and 17 members of a AS-12 nuclear-powered submarine died of poisonous fumes caused by a fire aboard the vessel. The submarine was described as experimental and unarmed but often used in spy missions. It is unclear how many of the 25 crew survived. Local media suggest 4 or 5 are receiving treatment in Severomorsk's military hospital for poisoning and concussion injuries. Another news account said the majority of the officers died in or on their way to the hospital. These reports do not cite the cause of the fire. All right, so hey, man, it's getting antsy, man. All right, people are dying. All right, and I mean the heat has already, began to increase. Just weeks ago when you had Iran shoot that drone, out of their skies, that was violating their airspace, and they took that as an act of aggression, and they was about to so-called retaliate against Iran, but they had to pump their brakes for a minute because they understood what could really go down. Okay, Iran can really shut the Straits of Hormuz and hurt the whole global economy, so they have to fall back. But all this right here, this is all building up for war, and Trump knows he's gonna need a major war in order for him to stay his ass in office, man. All right, so they're really harping on invading Iran. Okay, so what this is doing is causing the U.S. and Russia to keep bumping heads, even though they just recently, Trump and Putin, they just had a little talk. They had a little meeting just recently, and you see that is not going the way they want it to go. That's why it says in the first, let's get First Thessalonians 5:3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Yeah, because the Most High, it's about His counsel. All right, He doesn't want them to make peace, so He's causing all these different frictions, geopolitically. Okay, and that's what we see happening. The Most High is controlling both sides on the war stage. He's a man of he's a man of war, man. Okay, so He's going to stir up the Medes against Babylon the Great, and all these other nations are being pulled into it. You have the underling being Persia, Iran, and then America is really the underling for Israel. And we just heard how recently, I want to say it was the I'm trying to remember who said it, but it was coming from Israel, where basically I think it was the foreign minister of Israel. Okay, and he basically said that they're building their military might up to respond to any possible U.S. military conflagration. And that's why they need American soldiers over there in Syria, because they're afraid of what Iran can basically do. And just recently, Iran basically just put the report out that they just exceeded the amount of uranium needed to fulfill their nuclear program. And this is what they've been trying to prevent. But hey, thanks to your boy DJ Trump, he had abandoned that nuclear deal. So Iran continued to fulfill uranium enrichment. So everybody's standing on their toes right now. All right. So Israel's coming out. They're announcing that they're trying to build their military. Use possible military involvement in case of the escalation between Iran and the U.S. And then of course you had Assad. Assad basically recently made a vow to support Iran against all threats and acts of aggression over there in Syria. So let me get this around real quick. This is Joel, and y'all know these scriptures. Joel 3 verse 9. And it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about till they cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And the Most High is he's checkmating every last one of you nations, man, by getting you to engage in this big fight that y'all about to get into. All right, it's the Most High who's controlling the minds of the rulers of these nations, man. He's controlling Putin. He's controlling DJ Trump. All right, Rouhani, Netanyahu. Okay, Zai, Kim Jong Un, all these people, man. Okay, Merkel, Macron. So it's happening, man. And Esau, he's getting ready to go down, man. All right, a kingdom divided against itself, it shall not stand. Those Russians, those are Edomites. So you have the American Edomite versus the Russian Edomite. Two opposing forces, and they both are equally powerful. So they're getting ready to be brought to desolation, man. Especially America. Okay. So let me get another scripture. I don't want to make this too long. I just want to make this report. You know, and this is you know, major things are happening right now, man. And brothers should be paying attention. And I agree with the elder Sakaran, man. Focus on prophecy, man. All right, pay attention to see what's going on. We can clearly see that so much is happening, man. Okay, this is Second Ezra 16 and verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Okay, and those of you, you know, that are in the fold, you know, those of you that are learning, or you've been converted, you should already know what you should be doing. You should be studying, you should be reading, giving to exhortation. Okay, getting into the prophecies, being preoccupied, you know, with the prophecies, man. Examining yourselves. Okay, and also redeeming the times. Let's get that too. And I'm gonna leave off with that. Let's get Ephesians, the 5th chapter, and the 15th verse. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right, and this getting ready to get medieval all around the globe, man, because the Most High, he's about ready to bring it, man. He's sick and tired of the wickedness that's going on. Okay, Esau, he has to be put to a major stop, man, or he's going to destroy the whole planet. Okay, so anyway, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, I don't want to make this too long. I just want to do this response, and hey, you know, keep your eyes open, man, and keep watching. All right, we almost up out of here. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Bracha Dum. So, You know it, man. This is, we actually had a whole year of prophecy, but now we're just getting more and more into prophecy as we know this is the year of Charagma. We know that Esau's going to push the mark more so than ever, but also, you know, the fact that we've been awakened as to who we are. Well, this is brought up by the brother Malcolm, and, pretty much this is, and it's titled, The Controversy of Zion, and so I'm just going to let him teach here, and then we can get into these headlines, man, because, yeah, man, you're not being told, though, that, you know, there was a submarine incident. No, man, that's that kind of information you have to search out, which, if you're a prophet, that's exactly what you're going to do, is you're going to search things out, because we know we're in the time of prophecy. Get it while it's still here.
Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Abishai, Bashem Karpidash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the confusion of faith joined unto our ranks, the hopeful elect, the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson, and this is going to be a lesson with the milk scriptures. But remember, you can drown them with milk. Today's date is actually July the 3rd. It's going to be the 4th in a couple of hours. Well, in about 4 or 5 hours, well, according to Esau anyway. Actually, we just started the Shabbat, so we're actually going into the it's the new day already. So, but anyway, all that aside, this is a short video with Professor Griff and Nick Cannon, and it was filmed on Monday, July the 1st, 2019. Letting you know that now these celebrities, B-level celebrities, because I wouldn't call Professor Griff or Nick Cannon A-level celebrity. They're both kind of like B-levels. Nick's kind of like in between. He's kind of mainstream, but he's not. And the more he has topics like this, the less unpopular he's going to become. Kind of like rappers who started rapping about their Hebrew heritage, etc., how they kind of fell off and, you know, get pushed out of the limelight. You had like Lauryn Hill, the rapper Chingy, you know, when he made that King Judah, you know, he went from, I like it when you do that right there, you know, he went from that to talking about King Judah, you know, coming off a spaceship, you know, getting onto chariots and stuff. That King Judah song, which was, hey, I love the song. I could hear it once a day, it wouldn't bother me at all. But the point is that these guys, the Lord didn't give it to them. That's why they don't have true understanding. The Lord wanted nobodies. All right? Professor Griff, Nick Cannon, you know, things that they're talking about, you know, the apostles and the elders were talking about 30, 40 years ago. You know, the things that Farrakhan, all you have to do is go back and watch some old, you know, Great Millstone videos from going back 10 years ago or so. And, you know, and you could clearly see that he's been watching the videos just by the verbiage that he uses. All right. He wasn't, you know, he don't really understand the Bible like that. Believe me, all these great so-called leaders, they watch the men of Great Millstone, including these Edomite Christians. And they're getting breakdowns and, you know, from us. They're talking about things that they never talked about. I hear church people talking about things that they never talked about, and I was in those churches all my life. You know, from the Christian, from the Jehovah's Witness to the Catholic Church to the non-denominational, apostolic, all that stuff. And they never go into prophecies. And the things that they're talking about now in this day and age, they didn't talk about those things. So you better believe they're watching the Hebrew Israelites. But it's prophesied. Let's get Revelation 19 and 10 real quick. And then we're just going to bombard you with these scriptures. And we'll play this short video. It's a very short video, but it was a lot said in a very short span of time. But this is Revelation 19 and 20. Nope, not 19, 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship power, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. And we're prophesying, and we've been prophesying, right? And so Professor X, Nick Cannon, Louis Farrakhan, all of a sudden they jump on the Hebrew bandwagon, the Israelite bandwagon, but you can't be a Mason, you can't be a Morse, Morse science, you can't be a Muslim and yet claim your Hebrew heritage. Because the Hebrew Israelites is your heritage, and those other things are religions which go against your heritage. So these guys are really amateurs when it comes to the understanding of the Hebrew Israelites. Why would you go to a Muslim who wears a bald face, who obeys not the laws, nor understand, who has a bald face and a bald head, and learn from him about your Hebrew Israelite heritage, even though he's admitting that he knows he's a Hebrew Israelite? All right, let's get this is Deuteronomy 30:1, and it reads, And it shall come to pass when all these things come upon thee, meaning the curses, all right, and the blessings, all right, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have driven thee. So we got scattered among the nations. And see, that's another thing. The people like the guys we're about to listen to, they're on this black thing. We got scattered among the nations and intermingled. Some of our people do not look so-called black anymore. That's called the confusion of face. And if you deny that, then you're denying your Hebrew heritage. You're denying the truth. All of the Israelites are not going to look so-called black. Some of them are even going to look like so-called white people. There are plenty of evidences of that which people just love to ignore or pretend like it didn't happen. Not to mention that there are a lot of tares among the dark Israelites, because a lot of Edomite men, all right, millions of Israelite women were raped over hundreds of years by these Edomites and planted their seeds in our women. And these children came out with melanin and dark complexion, but they are the seed of the wicked. They never want to acknowledge it the other way around. Just because you're dark does not make you an Israelite, all right? And just because you're dark don't make you the same people. All the nations were dark except for Esau, Edom. All right? And the other nations were dark, even including Ammon and Moab, the so-called Asians. But yet they are not people. All right? Let's get another quick scripture. This is Isaiah 34:8. It reads, For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Now, granted, what Professor Griff says in this video and Nick Cannon is very, very, very important, serious matters. Because there is a controversy, because we are waking up. It said that if we would remember ourselves, let's get that and then we'll let the video play. Because it is a controversy, because we're now reclaiming our heritage according to his prophecy said it would happen. So any people claiming that they've been the Israelites all along don't fit the prophecy. Because they're going to go into the scriptures to prove all that, because the Israelites were stripped of their heritage. All right? This is Second Ezra's, matter of fact, we're going to hold up on that one. May not even read that one. But let's go ahead and let this short commentary play between these two Israelite men.
Honorable Minister Farrakhan being silenced on Facebook and other platforms because they attempted to silence Minister Farrakhan.
Now, mind you, Minister Farrakhan is a distraction from the men of the Great Millstone. All right? From the other Israelite camps out there, the Sakaris and the DTAs and the men of valor, HOIs and and all the other camps, even ISUPK. All right, these guys are pushing that Israelite thing, and Farrakhan is a distraction. Farrakhan is a Muslim. Look at Professor Griff. He has a bald face and a bald head, but yet he's claiming he's a Hebrew. So he really doesn't know that much about the Hebrews after all. All right. So let's go ahead now, without interruption, let it play. It's only a minute and a few seconds.
With the Honorable Minister Farrakhan being silenced on Facebook and other platforms, because they attempted to silence Minister Farrakhan right now, and they did the exact same thing to you. If the true children of Israel are black people, why is it such a problem to speak the truth? It became a problem for us because of the propaganda machine.
Notice the scripture.
It's more of a problem for them. They've taken our birthright. They don't want us to be them. They don't want us to be us.
Now that was very, very powerful, because they don't want us to be us. They want us to be the false narrative. Look, as you can see, they're both prophesying with their heads covered. They're going off right there. And they're both wearing black. But you can physically and visually see their skin is brown. So what did Nick Cannon say? Black people. All right? Nick Cannon is brown. So is Professor Griff. And so were the Israelites. All right? Black is a byword, just like white is a byword. White was something that they prescribed unto themselves in the year of 1681 in the state of Virginia. That's factual history. If anyone wants to question that, just can look up the studies of Dr. Jacqueline Badalora, Theodore Allen, and Dr. Robin D'Angelo. And they'll give you the historical facts of when it was written into law, a new form of humanity referred to as white people. So when these Edomites prescribed that unto themselves, they prescribed black unto the Israelites, which means, without understanding, darkness, evil, bad. And black is everything that's bad when you look up the definition. All right? But as you can clearly see, these men are brown complected, wearing black, and no one is the color of Professor Griff's hat or his shirt. No one on the face of the planet.
I want you wrapping your head. Right. You understand? Even though we are the true Hebrews. Exactly. So we can't even tell the truth now. Not on record, not on television shows. If that's truly our birthright, there's no hate involved.
So there's no hate when you're telling the truth. But see, when you start speaking the truth, you become an anti-Semitic. When you start saying that they're not the Israelites, all of a sudden that S word comes out. That A word, anti-Semitic. And remember, Sem is a made-up word. There was no nation of Sem. The man's name was Shem. It was Shemitic, and there are 8 Shemitic races, not just one. Facts. Look it up.
How did this message get so misconstrued? When we came back to claim it. If you steal my bicycle when we were 6 years old, and you riding around with my bike, right. And now I'm 12, and I understand. I want my bike back. My bike.
Right. And when we were reclaiming our heritage, okay? And that's what's going on. We're reclaiming our heritage, and that's simply what it is. And these Edomites cannot handle that. And he put Flash Baruch on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and get that, because that's one of my favorite scriptures. Because that's prophecy. You got people like Benjamin Netanyahu, not a Jew, over there in the land of Israel, constantly getting on television talking about birthright heritage and our land, knowing that he's a convert, knowing that you have the rabbi. I just did the video a week ago, not even a week ago, of what was his name? Rabbi Yaakov Shapiro, I believe, who just came right out and said being Jewish is not is a religion. It's not an ethnicity or a heritage or a people or a race. It's a religion. All right. But this is Baruch 2:30, and it says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." So remember, the first scripture we read is that we read Deuteronomy 30:1. That we would think upon the blessings and curses in the lands and among the heathen where we got scattered to. And now you have this mass Israelite awakening. You know, and this is really bothering Esau Edom, because Esau Edom understands that our awakening is the controversy, that controversy of Zion. All right, look at Hebrews 6 and 10. I'm just going to rattle off some scriptures now, and then we'll let this short video play again. This is Hebrews 6 and verse 10, and it reads, "For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and your labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that he hath ministered to the saints and do minister." So the saints are who? The Israelites. And who's doing the work? Who's going on the highways and byways teaching the people that they're the Israelites? It surely isn't Professor Griff or Louis Farrakhan. It's the men of the Great Millstone and the other Israelite camps. That's who's doing this. All right? Why? So that we can be exempt from that judgment and to wake up the elect. You know, it clearly said, matter of fact, in Zechariah, the 13th chapter, it talks about how 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die. Matter of fact, this is Zechariah 13 and 8. All right? And it reads, "And it shall come to pass that in all the lands, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call upon my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh is my power." All right? So we're going to get tried. How do you try silver and gold? Through fire, through heat. That means we got to go through hell to get to heaven. You know, one of my old training partners, one of my fight partners, man, used to say that all the time. He used to always say that we got to go through hell to get to heaven when we were preparing for matches and stuff like that. And it's true, man. Anything that's worth having, you got to suffer your way through it. You know? And that's just how it goes. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 17th chapter. And the 4th verse, and it says, "And thou," the Lord is talking to Jeremiah, who was an Israelite, "and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever," which meant a long time. And we've been on the bottom for a long time, and under the foot of our enemies, all the places where we were scattered to. Right? Which we got scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. All right? Mainly, though, to America and South America. That's where the biggest portion of all the Israelites are. And America is the place where all the tribes are at one place. It's the biggest place what's going to have all tribes. All right? Because there's still a lot of Israelites in Europe. And quite a few still in Africa, too. So we're all over the place, man. Like the scripture said, we're the sands of the sea. We can't be counted, man. Let's go to the book of Exodus. 3 and 15. And it reads, "And Yahweh said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, Yahweh, power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. And we have the name back. That drives them crazy too. They get angry because we've learned through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, we've learned to read, write, and understand the ancient Hebrew, not the modified Yiddish-based Hebrew that they speak now. All right, it's not even Hebrew; it's a bastardized language. It's written with Hebrew characters, but they're speaking German and Yiddish, and and other languages, Slavic languages. But it's written with Hebrew characters, so it looks legitimate to the world who's ignorant of that fact. All right, but this is Hosea. Wrap this up. Hosea was ducking and dodging me. Here we go. This is Hosea 1:10. And it reads, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. So remember, man, so-called black people are a minority. So how can blacks only be, well, at least they call us that. But looking at our numbers, how could we be as the sand of the sea? You have to add the other tribes in, which are so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and then, of course, the scattered confusion of face, our unnumbered, innumerable people that are mixed in among all the heathen around the world. The Lord said the prophecy said he's going to gather them from among the heathen. All right, so so our people that look like the other heathen are going to be gathered from among them. Thus saith the Lord. But this is Hosea 1:10, and it reads, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, because you're called Puerto Rican and Mexican and Negroes, natives, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians, Dominicans, who call by all these names except the Hebrew Israelites. There it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power.
With the Honorable Minister Farrakhan being silenced on Facebook and other platforms because they attempted to silence Minister Farrakhan right now, and they did the exact same thing to you. If the true children of Israel are black people, why is it such a problem to speak the truth?
It became a problem for us because of the propaganda machine. But it's more of a problem for them. They've taken our birthright.
They don't want us to be them.
They don't want us to be us. They don't want you wrapping your head.
Right.
You understand?
Even though we are the true Hebrews.
Exactly. So we can't even tell the truth now. Not on record, not on television shows.
If that's truly our birthright, there's no hate involved. How did this message get so misconstrued?
When we came back to claim it. If you steal my bicycle when we were 6 years old, and you riding around the hood with my bike,
right.
And now I'm 12, and I understand.
I want my bike back.
I want my bike back, man.
So as said before, man, they have a controversy with us because we're waking up to our true identity. We're calling upon our true identity. We're calling upon the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son. We're no longer calling upon those bastard names like Jesus Christ or Yahweh or Yahuwah. We're no longer taking the name of the Lord in vain, which, and I often say this, though. In order to take the name of the Lord in vain, you would have to know what His name is to vain it, right? So, those, especially IUIC in particularly, that knew what the name was, their leader, is teaching the people that we don't know what the name is. Now they're in complete violation. It's one thing if you never knew the name before, but having known the name and then going and saying you don't know the name, now you have taken the name of the Most High in vain by calling upon those other names. You see, before we were Gentiles, we've been in a Gentile state. So, of course, we were calling upon those, Hellenistic names like Jehovah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahusha, what's that other one that they love? Yeshua. And, of course, that's going to sound Hellenistic because that's the state of mind we're in. But now that we have the name, there's no excuses whatsoever to just dodge, because now we would be in violation of taking the name of the Lord in vain. Saying things like God damn it or Jesus fucking Christ is not taking the name of the Lord in vain, because those aren't his names. But even so, knowing that those are demonic names, that is satanic, I do everything I can to not even say the name Jesus Christ at all, to the best of my abilities, even when I'm pissed. I'll say God damn it all the time, because God, all that means is power, but that's not call upon the power to damn things. However, though, you can damn somebody. I say God damn Babylon. God damn this place. God damn America. What was it? Oh, Louis Farrakhan, I think, was the one that said it. No. Not God bless America. God damn America. So, I think it was Louis Farrakhan that said it. Nonetheless, though, we are no longer Hellenized. And so now, this prophecy, then, we've got to be all about prophecy. Because the prophecies are speaking. There's war all around, strange weather, earthquakes in diverse places, all the things that Yahweh Shai Mashiach told us is happening. So, like everything else, though, just pay close attention here.
One thing that the Spirit's been showing me, a lot of brothers are getting too caught up with little menial things that's going on, which is cool, certain things going on amongst the camps or whatever. That's all cool. Pay attention to prophecy, because the scripture said that prophecy is the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yep. And that's cool and all that. You want to deal with little things, exhortation and snapping brothers into line. Don't focus too much on that, though. Make sure in these last days you're focusing on prophecy, because right now, all throughout the news, I haven't been seeing too many brothers doing videos on what's going on with the situation with Iran and these things. And this is all leading up to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the Valley of Decision. Right. So don't get too caught up with your own personal bullshit, your own personal feelings, and your personal gripes with another brother. Right. First of all, when it comes to another brother, you're supposed to squash that before it even becomes anything more than that. Or whatever. All these things are necessary, but keep in mind that Satan, as a roaring lion, right, seeketh whom he may devour, as the scriptures say. So we got to make sure that Satan ain't trying to pollute our minds or make our minds stray away from the most serious matters, which is prophecy. Right.
As long as everything is running properly in your camp, then that's all you need. Yeah. All that other petty shit can go on.
Yeah, leave that, because that's how Satan likes that. See, Satan loves that bullshit. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make is this.
Notice Apostle Ramla in the background there as well, and that's just it, though, is, as we already had just the prior years, the year of death, diligence, and destruction, you either are diligent or death and destruction will come for you. And we see many things of that. We had the year of prophecy. So that means that now that those years have passed, we got to be diligent with prophecy, because it's the year Karagma. because we know that the main prophecy that has to be fulfilled is the mark has to be made mandatory worldwide. And then, of course, focusing in on Valley Decision. Why do you think it is? I read articles dealing with the Middle East, Syria especially, because that's right there in the river Euphrates, Syria and Iraq, And we know that Persia, is named, but now, you see this whole structure that they wanted to put military bases inside Iraq and Syria on purpose because Benjamin, not a Jew, admitted that they needed U.S. troops in Syria and in Iraq, of course, because Kurds has always been their backdoor for getting into Iran. Because remember, the Kurds, they get into Gomer, which is Turkey, and of course into Iran. And like I said before, a lot of them are actual Edomites and actual Amalekites within Gomer and within the Kurds, I never said that Amalek are all the Arabs. No, because Arab means mixed race. But what I did say, though, is that you got Amalek, who controls all the places, by the way, And those that are in opposition, they've already taken those leaders down, such as Muammar Gaddafi. Saddam Hussein, who was a royal, he was actually one of theirs. And they took him down because he was best friends with Dick Cheney, All these, pretty much in the Valley Decision, so we got to be about prophecy. And so here's one right off Press TV. U.S. threats against Iran, a form of rhetorical pressure. And this is from an analyst, and there's a video to it, so I'm going to let this video play.
Well, what appears to be happening now is that a rhetorical exchange is going on between the Americans and the Iranians that I think represents an actual standing down of some of the previous tensions. As we know, the United States came within 10 minutes of attacking Iran last week, and then that was supposedly in response to the shooting down of the drone. But something interesting has happened. Iran declined to shoot down an American naval plane that had actually intruded into Iranian airspace on the grounds that there were 35 approximately crew members on the plane, and that this would have resulted in actual casualties of American military personnel if Iran had shot that plane down. Also, Donald Trump called off the attacks on Iran after he realized that there would be approximately 150 casualties, Iranian casualties, perhaps more. So it appears that there's a tacit agreement between the two nations to avoid casualties. Instead, it seems like at this point, it's largely a war of diplomacy, a war of rhetoric, a war of media optics. And the United States seems to be pursuing a strategy that's backing away from a military confrontation. I think the President of the United States doesn't want to have an actual military conflict with Iran. However, the Americans are trying to use rhetorical pressure on the Iranians. And, of course, the Iranians are calling the Americans on that because the Iranians have now said that they're going to increase their nuclear production, which under the actual treaty that was formulated back in 2015, they actually have the right to do that. So Iran is actually within its rights, but it is calling the Americans out on some of their own rhetorical strategies, and then of course the Americans are hitting back with by upping the rhetorical game a bit. But it does seem to be a war of words at this point, and it remains to be seen as far as who will be able to get the upper hand in this in terms of standing their ground. I predict that Iran will come out on top in this particular conflict, because if the Americans are going to shy away from actual military attacks on Iran, which again, that seems to be what the President of the United States prefers, it's likely that Iran will be able to successfully maneuver simply by remaining within the terms of the agreement that was worked out in 2015. So that way the Americans really won't have any ground to stand on. So Iran is being very shrewd in terms of how they're actually playing this.
And of course, let's talk about the P5+1, aka the Iran nuclear deal. Well, here's more upon that. reactor to resume pre-deal activities if EU fails to meet pledges, which is the beast. And this is coming from Rouhani, you know, that pretty much, though, that, hey, look, man, we're going to resume production because of the fact that, well, we had a deal, but, you know, sanctions were put on us. You did nothing to prevent it. And this is going to cause the Ten Horns to hate the whore. That's part of it, as well as the whole war. President Rouhani says Iran's Iraq heavy water nuclear reactor, which was agreed to be redesigned under a 2015 nuclear agreement, will resume its previous activities after July 7 if other signatories to the deal fail to uphold their end of the bargain, just like what I was saying before. So you know as well as I do, though, that this is going to escalate because, you know, Benjamin, not a Jew, is going to continue his, you know, which is the war rhetoric against Persia. But there's more going on because also in Ezekiel's prophecy, Libya is mentioned. Check this one out. Which you know that the EU, the UN, NATO, it was their war against Libya, which is mostly France, but nonetheless, though, you could say Amalek's definitely behind that, which removed Gaddafi from power. And of course, they've been funding another terrorist group called the Libyan National Army. The UN urges Libya to evacuate migrant detention centers after deadly strikes. So this has got a video as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and play that.
The latest information from our teams is that at least 40 people may have died and that dozens more may be injured. The rescue operation is still underway, so that death toll may well increase during the course of the day. Our teams are rushing onto the ground to provide them with assistance and to provide medical care, and we're working against the clock to get assistance to people as quickly as possible. But the key thing here is that the situation has to change. We can no longer have a situation where people are trapped inside detention centres, unable to escape when they get caught up in violence. We cannot have people being brought back to Libya after being rescued on the Mediterranean if that means being held in these detention centres.
And who controls the detention centers? Is Gaddafi in control anymore? No. So-called UN peacekeeping. That's FEMA. UN peacekeeping. FEMA, the New World Order.
This was a very preventable tragedy that happened just 2 months ago. We warned after a similar airstrike that injured 2 other refugees and migrants that this was a pressing danger and that the people inside needed to be urgently evacuated. No action was taken, and today we've seen the tragic consequences of that with some of the detainees paying the price with their lives.
Well, we know what those so-called wonderful drone strikes have done for Libya. They've done so much. I mean, we've seen tons of hours of videos of them murdering children. This is what the UN does, and that's the beast.
We know that both sides have the coordinates of these detention centres. Both sides are aware where these detention centres are located and that there are people inside those detention centres at the time being. So what needs to happen now is a full and thorough investigation. Those found to be responsible need to be held to account. Having airstrikes drop on a civilian building in this way is a violation of international humanitarian law, and there needs to be action taken now to against those responsible and to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Well, you should know, you're the ones that authorized these drone strikes, you know, when Obama was your guy. And this one from Zero Hedge, more rumors of war, because sanctions are war. Cuba studying cryptocurrency to dodge U.S. sanctions, says government. Cuba is the largest country to consider using cryptocurrency to skirt U.S. sanctions, Reuters reported, quoting a government source on July the 3rd. In a public address on television, the country's president, Miguel Diaz-Canel, said the panel would raise capital for around 1/4 of the population, helping to pay for reforms. Cuba has felt a severe knock-on effect from the crisis in Venezuela, which was previously a major source of aid. We are studying the potential use of cryptocurrency in our national and international commercial transactions, and we are working on that together with academics. So, in other words, a lot of people think, oh, well, okay, the BRICS nations, then I won't have to take the microchip. Listen, man, cryptocurrency is going to be the new source, and of course the BRICS nations are involved with it, So anyhow, just another rumor of war right there. And this one's from Anti-Media. Slovakia this is loaded with pop-ups, so I'll do the best I can to dodge around it. But nonetheless, though, this is an article I brought up. New Jersey Senator Robert Mendez demands probe into U.S. weapons in Libya. Well, of course the U.S. has been involved with this war, because before they went into Syria, these same terrorists were getting the weapons. The same terrorists that they used to overthrow the government of Libya. A lot of them still stayed in Libya, but a lot of them moved into Syria. A senior U.S. senator demands an investigation over reports that American-made weapons were found at a base of forces loyal to Kafuf Hafar, an East Libya-based military commander, as reported by another agency. The UN-recognized Government of National Accord, GNA, said its sources found the weapons at a base they captured from Hafar's militia in the strategic town of Gairan, south of the capital Tripoli, last week. It said seized weapons included 4 Javelin anti-tank missiles packed in wooden crates marked Armed Forces of the United Arab Emirates. Isn't that nice? In a letter to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Senator Robert Mendez of New Jersey, it's the surname Mendez, so you know that he is one of ours. You still got 2/3 of our people within these areas, so that's why you're starting to see investigations and shit. The top Democrat of the Foreign Relations Committee voiced deep concern over the reports and said if the Emirates transferred the weapons, it would be a serious violation of U.S. law. So again, but you already know that the United Arab Emirates and the U.S. as of late haven't been seeing eye to eye anyways. So here we go. Here's more to this. Libya has remained beset by turmoil since 2011, when a bloody NATO-backed uprising led to the ouster and death of long-serving President Muammar Gaddafi after more than 4 decades in power. So, this is what their UN peacekeeping role is, So, who the fuck are they to talk about anything? Well, you see, that's just it. The hypocrisy of Esau Edom. And the greatest reason why, fucking piece of shit Amalek, wants United Snakes in Syria has a lot to do with the Golan Heights, which has been occupied because, again, not that Bashar al-Assad could, but with his ally Russia, they could, I suppose, but, the prophecy says that that wouldn't happen. But nonetheless, though, Bashar al-Assad had declared quite a while ago that he plans to liberate all of Syria from these terrorists, which includes the Golan Heights, because it was terrorism, that he plans to get Syria back. So, Homs, wasn't that just attacked by Amalek? Yeah, Damascus and Homs. Check this one out. Longest letter in support to Golan and its steadfast people signed in Homs. So this is a signatory. So I'm going to read that. With the participation of official youth and popular figures, a national activity was held in front of the building of the Homs Governorate under the title Come On Together to sign the longest letter of love, loyalty to the occupied Syrian Golan and its people, and their steadfastness in the face of the Zionist entity, which is another code word for Amalek, hostile practices. The activity started from Sweda province under the title, The Golan is a Syrian Arab land and it will remain so. And it arrived in Dara province on Sunday and it reached Homs on Wednesday, as it will later tour different provinces to collect about 3 million signatories. So you see, that's why both Damascus and Homs was bombed by Amalek. Amalek doesn't want this. You know, they definitely don't want a united Syria, even though the majority of Syria is united, but you see you got foreign entities within there. And Bashar al-Assad said this a long time ago, that those are not Syrians, those are foreign-backed terrorists. The activity will be concluded by delivering the letter to the UN representative in Damascus to express the rejection of U.S. President Trump's declaration of the Golan and to affirm standing by the people of the Golan. So you see how Donald Trump and Babylon the Great are working together to make sure that they can't stop the Zionist entity. You see how that's all working together? The event is organized an implementation of an initiative by Come On Together team, which embraces 14 women from different provinces who will collect signatories on a 1,000-meter long and 15-meter wide roll of paper. Participants in the event affirm that the Golan will return to the homeland thanks to the steadfastness and determination of the Syrian people. It's just another one of Amalek's which Amalek was the one that put our people in captivity. But you see how the Syrians are going into captivity under the same entity that put us into captivity. You see how that's all now happening in these latter times. They held the sacrifices of the Golan's people and their adherence to the Syrian Arab identity despite of the arbitrary measures of the Zionist entity against them. So, pretty much they're taking a proverb against Amalek. They're getting signatories all over Syria. And that's just it, though. They don't want the Syrian people to be able to rise up to actually reclaim what's rightfully theirs. So that's why the U.S. is there, to prevent Bashar al-Assad and the Syrian people from reclaiming their land from these bastards who stole it. The same bastards that did the same to us have stolen our identity, calling themselves the Jews, the same bastards that pretty much run the whole world. So, I can't think of any better places than getting right into the scriptures, because this is all about prophecy, and first place mentioned in here, Zechariah chapter 9, and it reads, the burden of the word of the Most High in the land of Hadrach and Damascus, so code word for Syria, and Damascus, shall be the rest thereof, when the eyes of man, as all the tribes of Yashalah, shall be towards the Most High, which is happening now. Our eyes are upon Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, we have the names, all eyes are upon him. We're waking up to the fact that we're the Israelites. And Hamath shall border thereby Tyrus and Zidon, all places in the Middle East, though it be very wise. And Tyrus did build herself a stronghold and headed up silver as the dust and fine gold as the mine of the streets, which of course that's another code word for Syria. Before the Most High will cast her out and will smite her power in the sea, and shall be devoured with fire, which you constantly see in fire, war, all over fucking Syria, and of course and in Gaza. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it, which is, the areas of the Palestine area, of course, because it's talking about them bastards, them Amalekites, and be very sorrowful, and Ekron for her expectations shall be ashamed, and the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And here's the key verse. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, which is talking about that land of Israel, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. And I will take away his blood out of the mouth, and his abominations from between his teeth. But he that remaineth, that means the elect of us, those that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities, that is, the elect of us, even he shall be for our power, and shall be as a governor in Jehoiada, and Ekron as a Jebusite. And I will account about mine house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, and because of him that returneth, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more. For now I have seen with my own eyes. Again, this is talking about, when we retake that kingdom from these bastards, and at the same time, these same bastards are going to wreak havoc on Syria, and you already know what Jeremiah 49 says. In that same hour when Babylon the Great, better known as Edom, is destroyed, so too will Damascus be destroyed. Which Damascus, I believe, means fortified. So Damascus pretty much means a well-fortified city. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, the king cometh unto thee, which talk about Yahushai. And he is just having salvation, lowly, and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. It's talking about the first time when he came here. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem. The battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. And that's what's happening now. By way of this internet, this word has gone out. And like everything else, though, get it while you still can, because Esau's mad that we have this truth, and that we're calling upon the true names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, and he can't stand that. So we know that the mark has been made mandatory, and you can see the push for that. This being the year Karagba, so this is another video that I found from another brother. I believe this is from the Buffalo camp, but Slovakia if it's not. But nonetheless, though, it's called Keep Thinking It's a Game. We've been telling you, a lot of people think that this is a joke. You're going to find out how much of a joke it is when they want to put it in you.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. And I want to say double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And as always, giving a sincere Shalom to the house of David, the elect. All right, I'm the brother Zion. And pretty much what you see here on the screen is an image of looks to be an Edomite. Okay, I'll just say an Edomite guy being chipped. Okay, and pretty much I was watching Elder Apostle Tahar. I don't know exact video it was, but I was watching two of them. I believe it was two of his latest videos. And he was mentioning the mark of the beast a lot, and I want to say Salakia for this notification that's popping up on the bottom of the screen. I don't really know what it is, but anyway, Elder Apostle Tahar was mentioning the mark of the beast, and he was mentioning it quite often. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a video on it, because we can never really mention the mark of the beast enough. And a lot of these people out here, when we tell them what it is, most of you Israelites, you don't want to accept it. I left a comment on Elder Apostle Tahar's video, and I mentioned there was a guy, he's from where we are here in Niagara Falls, New York. And, he mentioned he was following IUIC. And I told him about the mark of the beast. And he was like, you really think that's going to happen? That sounds like some fairy tale shit. And I showed him videos on it. I showed him the Aaron Russo video. And then I showed him the 3 Square Market video. And it basically blew his mind, It blew his mind. He couldn't believe it. But the thing is, he still was mesmerized by the IUIC juice, the purple garments, the way they march, things of that nature, the gimmicks. In other words, the gimmicks, But you can't be taken by the gimmicks. You have to listen to the doctrine. What doctrine are they bringing out? What doctrine are you coming in? Because if you're distracted by the gimmicks, then, that's not a good sign. Okay? So a lot of you people, you think this Mark of the Beast is a game, but it's not. All right? And you're gonna come to realize when that time comes that you're gonna have to get the chip, or you're not gonna get the chip. And a lot of you that's weak-minded, okay, you're gonna take the chip. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, and try them that dwell upon the earth. And a big part of that hour of temptation, okay, a big part of that is the mark of the beast. Okay? A big part of that, man, is the mark of the beast. Okay? You're going to have many things going on in the hour of temptation. But the main focus of that is the mark of the beast. Okay? Because it says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That chip is going to come upon every single person. You're going to be faced with a decision. And for the record, the elect is not going to take the chip. So if you get the chip, you ain't of the elect. Okay? You're going to be faced with a decision. You're going to get this chip, or you're going to be off the grid. And a lot of people with children, that's going to be their first priority. Is we going to get this chip, man. Okay? And like Elder Apostle Tahar was saying, don't be surprised if it's chipping stations in these churches, man, in these harlot houses. And he also mentioned that some of these churches, man, they got ATMs inside of them, man. So don't be surprised if there's chipping stations inside the church, and the pastor is basically he's going to be the first one to get it. He's going to lead the congregation into getting chipped. So don't be surprised, man. This thing is getting ready to pop off. All right? And if you're teaching that the mark of the beast is not the chip, okay? Because that's one of the main prophecies, man. The mark of the beast is one of the biggest prophecies in the Holy Scriptures. So Yahweh Shai is going to deal with you, man. If you're teaching false doctrine, man, Yahweh Shai is going to deal with you. Shalakia. Just know that. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to deal with you, man. Alright? Matter of fact, let me get this. Oh man, this damn devil, man. Let me check my Wi-Fi, brother Salakia. Let's see. Salakia, 1 minute, bear with me. Okay, the water. The water Yahweh. Alright. Damn, phone tried to go offline. This is 2 Timothy 3:10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience. So the scriptures say we have fully known his doctrine. So you can't be going off, man, teaching, the mark of the beast ain't the chip. It's an embargo. It's Christianity. It's sleeping with the white woman. All those are false doctrines. Okay? And you can't be swayed by that, man. You can't be swayed by that. So the Lord said we have fully known his doctrine. Okay? Toss to and fro. Okay, Ephesians 4 and 14. Alright? That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. Okay? So in other words, you got to be rooted, man. You got to be grounded. You got to be settled. You got to know what you're talking about. You can't be, oh, I think it's the market. I think it's the chip. No, you got to know, man. Research, study. Okay? Look things up, look words up. And that way you're certain. And Elder Apostle Tahar also brought that out, that ye have an unction from the Holy One and we know all things. Okay? And that word unction basically means that you have the oil. Okay? Read it again, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. See, a lot of guys will try to deceive you, man. You know why? Because a lot of these Israelite camps, they got the 501c3 charter. Okay, some of you Israelite camps, you gonna get the chip. You gonna be lined up and getting that chip, man. A lot of you camps out there, you ones that's claiming that you bowling on the front lines, y'all asses gonna be getting chipped, man. Cause you ain't serious about this. The Lord is looking for serious men. All right. And like I said, Salakia for the pop-ups, brothers. These pop-up ads and everything else. I gotta actually just restart this phone. This is my side phone. I do videos on this phone from time to time. So I'm just gonna factory data reset it. That way these pop-ups won't keep popping up. Revelation 13 and 16, and he called them great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right, charagma, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell. And that's the key point. That right there proves that it can't be Christianity. Okay? If it's an actual mark that's going to go into your skin to be implanted. Okay? Stigma. And this is in fact the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Okay? Which the people on this planet Earth, you're going to be faced with a decision. Hey, the men of the Lord, the prophets, we're going to be faced with a decision. But the difference between you and us, or us and you, is that we have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay? You other people are basically naked out here in these streets, man. And we have faith. Hebrews 10 and 6. No, Hebrews 11 and 6. For without faith it is impossible to please him. Okay? So I just wanted to say a few words on the mark of the beast. It's not a game, man. Okay, it's not a game. It's a serious times. Prophecy. Lord willing, this was edifying. To the next lesson, I say shalom.
That's just it, though. This ain't no fucking game. You know, you can tell what's going on here. You know, so I hope all this has been edifying as we dig into the scriptures, you know, which is what we're supposed to do, getting our daily bread day by day, you know, and edifying others, re-uploading, re-sharing, which is what I try to do, which is why I look at other brothers' videos, re-share them, and take a look at what's going on. Because this is all about prophecy. And this is the main prophecy that it has to come to pass. So I'm going to leave it off with Great Millstone Main Camp. For all that, I hope this has been edifying. Until next time, Shalom, Brakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Brakatam, Wa Abba Babal.
And it says, and he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my mother, nor I have not told it my father, nor my mother.
So that goes to show you, sometimes you gotta keep secrets, man. Certain things are supposed to go to the grave with you. Alright? Certain things you got dudes coming out, oh, I was a faggot, and I did this, and I did that. Nigga, man, I'm happy you brought that shit out, because we didn't want your faggot ass around us anyway, man. You see what I'm saying? But I don't want to say too much, I might get the channel, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got something?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Micah chapter 7, verse 5. Trust ye not in a friend.
Trust ye not in a friend, man. So if you got a friend, you know, niggas will go right behind your back. Be like, yo, you tell a dude, listen, man, this is between me and you, don't say nothing. All of a sudden, the nigga pillow talking with his bitch, and she know exactly what you told him, man.
Put ye not confidence in a guide.
Put ye not confidence in a guide, man. Yes?
Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom.
You ain't supposed to be pillow talking about secrets and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you throwing shade on somebody that's your boy and shit. You know, niggas in the world, man. Niggas in the world will do anything, you know what I'm saying, to get what they want. Throwing shade on the dude. Oh yeah, you know, but really how he got such and such, he did this, he did that. Now when you pull up on the bitch looking at you like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You're supposed to keep certain things to yourself, man. Even in the truth, man. You gotta tell everybody every fucking thing, man. Yeah, we brothers, but everybody's their own man. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta tell a brother every single detail about what the hell you know, what you do or whatever, what you into. I mean, if you're doing something wicked, the Spirit's gonna reveal it now. All right? I ain't gonna tell these brothers I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm smoking weed, and coming to camp and all that. But you know, whatever, you know? The Lord, you know what I'm saying? Expose that or whatnot, man. If you're doing something wicked, the Lord will expose it soon enough. I tell you, there's nothing kept hid that shall not be uncovered. Okay,
And so back in Judges chapter 14, verse 17,
yeah.
And she went before him the 7 days while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him.
Yeah, so he pretty much got annoyed at the bitch, all right, and told her, man. Like your woman, sometimes your woman be asking you for some money, the bitch won't lay off you, man. She won't lay off you. The bitch just keep on annoying you about it, nagging you about the shit. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, how about you, brother? You just give her the shit, man, just to shut her up. The chick will do that. How you think Adam got caught up, man? You think Eve just came to him one time and asked him that shit? No, she kept on nagging him, man. Adam went through the same thing we go through with our woman, that nagging shit, man. So really the nigga woman been nagging since the beginning of time, man. Shit. Nagging, man. All in your ear. Every time you turn around, she act, but you know she's a fine woman and shit, so you don't get, you like, you know y'all brothers know, man. Good? Yeah, let me bring it up.
This is Sirach 26:7.
Yeah.
An evil wife is a yoke and shaken to and fro.
Yeah, evil wife, you know, a wicked ass bitch. You got her, she's a yoke shaken to and fro, man. You know what I'm saying? She's unstable. You see what I'm saying? She's all mixed up here and there. She don't cook for you. She don't wash your clothes. Man, as you a hard-working man, you come home, you don't got no food. You don't got no clean clothes. You know what I'm saying, bro? We're coming to the time where we ain't gonna have to deal with that. You got certain brothers that done excommunicated the nigga woman already, man. Certain brothers just don't deal with the nigga woman, period, man. ordering Chinese food, feeding your kids Chinese food every night, man. Or McDonald's, man. Right?
It says an evil wife is a yoke shaking to and fro.
Yeah, all you niggas want these drug dealers want these bad bitches. Rapper niggas want these bad bitches, man. These bitches be hoes, dog. A bunch of tattoos all over her, man. Tattoos on her chest. Both of her nipples is pierced. She got tattoos on her lower back, tattoos on her thigh, thighs, man.
They even got tats on their cheeks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, bitches get stars on their faces. Yeah. Pissed.
Yeah, pissed.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It says, he that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
Though he held a scorpion, man. What happened to that Arab dude when he got with Janet Jackson? He was just a heathen that starstruck by the nigga woman. That's all he was. He heard all that control, all that bullshit she did. You know what I'm saying? You know, Janet Jackson got some hits now. So he got her for the status. And the contract was that if you stayed with him, I think it was 5 or 8 years or something like that, and she would get hundreds, like 100 million or some shit. She stayed with that filthy Arab for the exact amount of time, then divorced his ass to get the money. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with a fucking Arab. You fucking low life. Even Mike up there looking at you like, you piece of shit. Filthy bitch.
Now that he's in his right mind.
I wish I never had you on my goddamn album, man. Filthy fucking boy. If Mike Jack came back right now, he'd be cursing that bitch out, man. All kind of Hebrew shalak, right? Yo, cursing her ass out. You got a piece up? What?
With the white glove on.
Yeah, with nah, I don't know white glove. He ain't got a glove on now. He might, I don't know. Shit. He never knows. No, Jake now, you know.
Verse 8, a drunken woman and a gatherer abroad.
Yeah, a drunken woman. Yo, you be having these chicks out in the street drunk, man. Oh, well, yeah, them bitches, man. That song go on in the strip club, forget about it. Them bitches go crazy, you know? You see what I'm saying? A drunken woman. A woman ain't supposed to be out here all drunk out of her mind. I mean, if she gonna get drunk, you know what I'm saying? Get drunk in your house with your man. Alright? A woman is not supposed to be at the fucking bar getting all drunk. Then you wake up and your box feel violated, alright? Because you was all out of your wits, man. First of all, if a woman is going out, she's supposed to have men with her, guardians. You think a fine woman could just roam around 3 in the fucking morning? You know what I'm saying? In the ancient times and whatnot, bro? Hell no. She done got snatched up. It was a different time, man. So she'd roll with her brothers, or she'd roll with her father, or something like that, man. Huh?
A curfew.
Well, they're supposed to have a curfew, yeah. Okay?
A drunken woman and a gatherer abroad.
Yeah, they want to go to DR. I don't advise none of you bitches to go to DR right about now, though. I'll tell you that much. All right? They out there getting murked, dog. See what I'm talking about? They out there killing y'all, kidnapping y'all. Y'all won't make it back to your little office job. Your little this is a girls' trip only. You got your simp ass husband home. He's a gamer. Playing the game. She got her brains fucked out by Juan in Santo Domingo. You know what I'm saying? Buying Juan all kind of shit, man. Giving him money. You know what I'm saying? And you at home playing the game. Nah, I trust her. Hey man, this dude I know, his wife finally got pregnant, and I met his wife, man. Nigga couldn't get his wife pregnant, man. Then I met his wife. Then all of a sudden the bitch got pregnant. This nigga would let her go to Carnival by herself out there. I was like, yo, you trust her, man? He was like, yeah, I trust her. I looked at his wife. I was like, I told my other man, I said, yo, man, that kid might not be that nigga's kid, man. You gotta analyze situations now. You see what I'm saying? All of a sudden she got, and the baby shower was what, at the end of July or something like that. you better get a paternity test. Any chick that come to me talking about, oh, you got me pregnant, I'm gonna tell her, look, I want a paternity test. No hard feelings, baby girl. But we gotta get a paternity test. I don't care if the kids look just like me, I'm getting a paternity test, man.
There's a situation real quick. Yeah. You were saying, well, he's not an Ephraimite, he's a Puerto Rican. His wife cheated on him with some dude, but he's still holding up the baby shower for his wife, for the kid that his baby mother cheated on with. So he's having a baby shower for her and the nigga, but he's not supposed to be there, but he's still with the girl paying money for the baby shower. Sounds like confusion. It's pure confusion. And it's crazy.
And that's why the Lord set up certain laws that are deaf, man. Yeah, because with a situation like that, that's crazy. The Lord's not the author of confusion. They're supposed to be the judgment. We got the judgment. We read the judgment. Okay, that's what we got to do. You and him are dead, putting you out of death. Now we don't got that problem no more. It's called putting. That's right. Get it? It's called in Leviticus. It's called putting evil away from Israel, man. All right. A bitch, yo, these bitches are wicked, man. Yeah, man. Look, man, I dealt with enough bitches to know these hoes are wicked, man. All right. A bitch will suck another nigga off and come and kiss you in the fucking mouth, man. All right. I'm not saying it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it fucking did. I don't know. Right. I pray it didn't, but you know what I'm saying? I'm out here at camp. I don't know what my fucking woman is doing. Yeah. All my women are doing.
You heard what Judah said? Judah said she heard a bitch that was talking about I'm cheating on my man while my man's on camp. Yep. He was an Israelite, man. And Judah said he made a video, it was so tight, he put a curse on that bitch, man. It was a fucking hole in the train, and her man's an Israelite doing the work, and she's sucking another nigga's dick, man.
Yeah, well, she probably down with he probably down with the IUIC.
Probably that nigga on the train that was talking about, I'm gonna learn how to what? Think about work my ass.
Yeah, well, hey, that's what happened. That's what happened to y'all, man. You cats that don't fear the Lord. We got a healthy fear of the Lord back here. See brothers with beards on their faces and whatnot, man. And it's not the only thing we do to show that we fear the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Other things that we do to show that we fear the Lord, man. I got that. What you got? You got the law. Okay, bring it up.
Yeah. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
Yeah, this stupid ass nigga on my job, he's a taper. Talking about, no, it said, the Bible said one man to one woman. I say, yo, man. See, I didn't want to get into it with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? He an older dude, bald-headed, smooth face, telling me Jesus Christ is the way. Like, look, man, alright, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, I couldn't help it. The nigga kept on talking to me, man. So, you know, the spirit got the old fiery in me, man. I said, look, man, you don't know nothing about the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? And we started going into it, man. I said, look, man, how many wives did King David have? How many wives did King Solomon have? He said, no, they all get him into trouble. And they all get him into trouble. I said, no, because he started worshiping their idols, man. King David committed adultery. I said, yeah, he committed adultery, man. He did. That's what adultery is. Okay, a man sleeping with a woman that is married already or betrothed already. Then I asked the nigga, I said, listen, what constitutes marriage according to the Bible? He couldn't give me the answer. I said, sex constitutes marriage according to the Bible. Because in the ancient times, women were all virgins until you got with them. You know? Now, in this day and age, the chastity of a woman, man, you gotta find, you can't find that. You gotta take trips around the world to find that, bro. To find a woman with her virginity still intact, man. And even if you do find her, she probably tainted. She probably gave niggas hand jobs and blow jobs already, man, when she was 11, 12 years old. I know bitches like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
You got it? Read it again. Yeah, Leviticus 20 and 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
Yeah, DMX. I'm politicking with this chicken named Tamika. Little hood rat chick from 29th Street. Thinking if I should creep her. You know what creeping is, right? You on the down low. When the nigga's at work, busting his ass at work to pay the fucking bills. A lot of times these hoes don't even got jobs. It's one person working in the house. The dude working to pay the bills, you got this nigga coming over, banging your back out, man. You see what I'm saying? Now say your husband come home and you all fucking acting like you are Sarah or something like that. Or it might be situations like this. Say your husband had a stroke and he's all fucked up and shit. He can't, you know, he walking with a cane and shit. Guess what? You're supposed to be fucking chaste, bitch, all right? You're supposed to be chaste. To say a woman is bound to a man as long as he living, not as long as he get fucking hurt, all right? Sickness and health, ho, okay? You see what I'm saying? These hoes will have another nigga fucking them and your husband is there all sick and shit, man.
Yeah, man.
That shit is fucking wicked, man. Give a damn if he fucking got a stroke and he can't use his shit no more, man. Most of you hoes by the time you're 18 have had enough sex to last a fucking lifetime, man. Think women were having sex like that in the ancient times, man? Hell no.
Good. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
Sometimes this happen unawares. You might meet a chick and say, what's up, baby? How you doing? You all right? You look very nice. You know, however you kick your game to it, you know what I'm saying? But then, as you in the game, you gotta throw in somewhere. You could be kicking your strongest game, but you gotta throw in somewhere. So I'm saying, I don't see no finger, I don't see no ring on your finger. You married? You got a boyfriend or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Or she say, well, it's complicated. Well, baby girl, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the kind of guy that wants to ruin another man's happiness, so you know I'm gonna have to pass. You feel me? That's what I hit him with. You tell him whatever you gotta tell him, man. Some brothers just say straight up, just walk off, man. You know what I'm saying? No pictures, man. No pictures. Thank you.
No. If you got any questions, come on with it.
No, don't take pictures.
English? You speak English?
Yeah, I just want to say
so English?
Yeah, don't be like that nigga in that song.
No picture, Bobby.
What's your man? When the girl says, he has to, you got a man? And she goes, I got a man. I ain't trying to hear that. See, don't be like that.
Yeah. That's wicked, man.
With that song, man,
that goes, I got a man, but I'm not trying to hear that. Like, she's like, you asked the bitch you got a man.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, these niggas ain't shit, man. So, you know, the thing about a nigga ain't got no integrity, man. They say stolen waters is sweet. But the Lord made the ratio of men to women on earth is man, it's astounding, man. Women outnumber men in the millions, man. You know what I'm saying? So why you can't just go find another woman, man? All right? Hey, Apostle Hall put the video out there about you gotta have some game, man. You an Israelite, man. You gotta have some kind of game. You know? You got the cold approach, you got the, you know, smooth approach, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out there committing adultery now.
That's nasty as hell anyway.
I don't give a damn if you go on a damn dating site. You know? Yeah, you gotta be careful. But you know, the Spirit of the Lord be with you, you get something, man. And first of all, the Spirit of the Lord is a manly spirit, man. Bitches see that on you, they it's a mysterious spirit, and it's a manly spirit as well. It's a mystery. And when bitches see that on you, they attracted like, what is it about this guy? I don't know what it is. It's the Spirit of the Lord, man. All right? It's the Spirit of the Lord. And don't even think, when the Lord was on the scene, don't think women wasn't trying to get at him and all that now. Don't think women wasn't trying to get at the Lord now. Because women was trying to get at the Lord, all right? It don't say that, but you got to extrapolate. The Lord was the man, all right? Man. Look at what women do when you can do magic tricks and all. Oh my God, the Lord was doing fucking miracles. He was raising people from the dead, man. You think women didn't want to give the Lord some pussy back then? But he had a mission. He was on a mission, man. He was on a mission, man. He was straight juggernaut, warrior spirit. I'm on a mission. When I was Solomon, I had her when I was Solomon, I had her when I was Solomon. All right, I had her when I was Solomon, man. The Lord knew all that, man. Women been want to give the Lord some pussy, man. But guess what? He was on a mission and he knew that he couldn't do that, man. He couldn't do that. He was a lamb. He was unblemished. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Man, the Lord was bad, man. The Lord was bad. And don't get it wrong, the Lord loved women now. The Lord loved women. You see what I'm saying? But he was on a mission, man.
It says, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Right. But then you'd ask about, whoa, what about Mary Magdalene? You know? Well, see, the thing about Mary Magdalene, certain people are for signs in Israel, okay? It's an actual scripture on that. The scripture say, I'm roughly paraphrasing. It said, the children I give unto you are for signs and miracles in Israel, okay? Like when the Lord, when he raised up certain people from the dead, or when he healed the man with blind eyes, that was for a sign in Israel. But Mary Magdalene was for a sign in Israel, all right? What was the sign? First of all, Mary Magdalene herself represented Israel, okay? She represented Israel. And what do we do to the Lord? We've committed spiritual fornication with the Lord. By what? Worshiping idols, right? So now, she committed fornication. And she had accusers, right? But the Lord forgave her. You know what I'm saying? And told her, look, go and sin no more. Just like the Lord's going to forgive us. Whether you the 2/3 or the elect, the Lord's going to end up forgiving you anyway. Okay? But she represented Israel. And now the accusers, then the Lord got up and he started writing in the sand. He started writing all their sins in the sand. Adultery, robbery, this, that, and the other, writing into the sand. Then all of them started walking away. Then he said, look up, where are thy accusers? And she looked up, because you know, back then women were shamefaced, especially if you got caught in adultery. She all looking down, thinks she gonna get stoned. She waiting to feel the pain. But she looked up, she didn't see nobody around. Because why? Because the Lord cut them by calling out them on their sins. You see? Now who's our accuser? Our accuser is fucking Esau right now. You know? And we are spiritually Mary Magdalene, man. Or she's us, vice versa. You know? The Lord's gonna forgive us like he forgave her.
This is Psalms 103:10. On down it says, He have not dealt with us after our sins, nor rewarded us according to our iniquities.
Yeah, because we were supposed to all be dead concerning that. Okay?
For as the heaven is high above the earth, so is his mercy towards them that fear him.
That's right. Going into what? Isaiah 55 and 11. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. For as the heaven is higher than the earth, so my thoughts higher than your thoughts, and my ways higher than yours. So you can't really find the Lord out. You can't figure the Lord out. The Lord ain't really got no pattern. You know, he ain't got no pattern, man. Certain things you can figure out about his attributes and his personality and stuff, but really you don't know what the Lord's going to do. The Lord could do some the Lord stopped the damn sun one time, man. You kidding me, man? Stop time. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Good.
Verse 12, it says, as far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us.
That's right.
Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him. For he knoweth our frame, he remembered that we are dust.
Yeah, that's right. The Lord, at the end of the day, you know, in other words, it's one of them moments, at the end of the day, that's just man. Man is, you know, subject unto sin, subject unto vanity. Okay?
As for man, his days are as of grass, as the flower of the field, so he flourisheth. But the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall it know it no more. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him,
right? And
his righteousness unto the children's children,
right?
To such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments, right?
That's right, man. So that's for who? That's for the Israelites, man. All right? That's for the Israelites. His mercy is only unto us, man. The Lord have mercy on her, man. The Lord was doing all kind of shit, man. They took the guy. They was carrying. Jake was carrying him on beds. They carried him on beds to the Lord. Imagine carrying a queen-size bed in the street with your old grandfather all fucked up, taking him to the Lord, man. The Lord healed him up. Oh shit, he got up. Probably did a James Brown and. But damn, I feel 20 years younger, man. The Lord was doing some shit now. The Lord wasn't no square either, man. The Lord wasn't no square. The Lord was doing some shit, man.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Mary Magdalene was basically a symbol of Israel, which is absolutely on point. In the scripture right here, Jeremiah 3:1, it says, they say if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto again? Shall not thy land be greatly polluted?
Right.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
Exactly. That's what Jake did. The Lord said that, you know, for as thy cities are, so are thy gods, O Judah. You know? In other words, Judah had a lot of idols that they worshiped, man. They had an idol for every damn day of the year at one point. Okay?
Yup, it says, but thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, save the Lord.
Exactly. Yet again return to me. So Mary Magdalene embodied that.
Right.
You gotta remember, the Lord controls all things. He allowed her to do that, but he knew he wasn't gonna allow her to be killed either. He allowed her to do that, but he knew he was gonna forgive her. In the act of doing it, you know, she, whatever, you know? Now women are, you know? When she did it, she felt all fucked up, but guess what? The Lord had mercy on her, because it was for a greater purpose now. Now they got other women that committed adultery back then too. They got fucking stoned. But she was special, you know? Right. Or as special as she could be, you know?
And Mary Magdalene believed in the Lord, so she believed in him. She had faith that he was the Son of the Most High. So which goes to show you that faith, you know, and now faith supersedes trying to keep the law. Because we couldn't keep the law to begin with. You know, that's why the scriptures say that I read in Psalms 103 that we are like the dust and the grass that perisheth. You know, we couldn't keep the law to begin with. So now Yahweh Shah being, you know, made, you know, of the law, you know, he came in the likeness to the Most High and all of that. We had to believe on him. And that was that, you know, and she believed on him.
Yeah, she did. She even washed his hair. Washed his feet with her hair. That's back when you so-called black women had big puffy ass hair, man. I'm talking about a big long puffy sponge on your head, man. You know? Even back in the 70s when they was rocking them afros, it wasn't nothing compared to what Mary Magdalene had, man. She wasn't up in there like that, you know. She actually had hair, and it came down.
She was seeing what she was doing.
Yeah, and she was washing. It wasn't no damn weave. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you right now, man. If you're a hustler, you get some fucking weaves, man. I'm talking about the good shit out the back of your car, man. You make a killing. You'd make a killing, brother. I'm talking about them good weaves that chicks like. You get that shit. Finally, you get it somewhere. You know, chicks like the Brazilian shit.
Yeah, they said that shit is $1 billion industry.
Bro, all I want is a couple $1,000, man. Shit. I'll put that shit in the back of my car. I'll pull up to the nearest project building. I tell, look, baby, I got it for the low. I got it for the low, baby. And I'll be hustling that shit off, man.
That's a black woman drug, man. The weeds. Like that black bitch that got beat up by the Asian dude. And then the next day they try to protest to shut it down. And the black woman was cursing them out. Talking about leave our hair alone.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that's why it's $1 billion industry, because of the so-called black woman. And not only so-called black women, you got women with hair that could grow hair on. What the fuck is that? That could grow hair on their head. But they'll still wear weaves, little kids and shit, man. Yeah, you know, kids be kids. You know, they could grow hair on their head, but they still want to wear weaves, man. You know, why? Because of these black women, these so-called black women. Who's this? You had something?
Yeah, I got Jeremiah 3.
Jeremiah 3?
You brought that out? I'm on to Jeremiah 3. You brought that out?
I think you read it already.
You read 3 already?
Yeah, I just read that.
Who got something? Yes.
Second Ezra, chapter 16.
Let's switch to prophecy too, man. Have them wars, because you know you got a lot of stuff going on in the news.
Yep, I got something.
A lot. Matter of fact, go ahead to Second Ezra 16 and 1. Because we hearing about a lot of stuff in the news. Oh shit. Right?
Yeah. Shit just got loose.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell you, man.
Hold on. You got it?
Yeah, we heard about a lot of stuff in the news concerning you know, Iran, and concerning Russia and America as well. As a matter of fact, even this right now we're living in a time where
just loosen this a little bit,
this is the beginning of the 10 horns hating the whore.
Just to make sure
because the EU they allowed certain trades to still be how you call it, go through with Iran, even though the U.S. sanctioned them. The U.S. sanctioned them, saying certain countries couldn't trade with them, but the EU is saying no, we gonna supersede that. You know, we're gonna supersede that and allow certain places to trade with Iran. So they pretty much, you know, putting them sanctions to null and void, allowing Iran to still make money. You You know? The whole thing is that America is screwing up business, man. Trump, I can't remember if it was last week or was it this week? He said, oh, we're not going to attack Iran because there was 150 people that could have possibly potentially died. Bullshit. Because why? Because America nuked fucking Japan. You didn't give a damn how many thousands were out there. All of a sudden, they bomb innocent people every day with drones. Now all of a sudden, 150 people over there, you talking about, oh, we ain't gonna do nothing. No, because you got a call from Putin, and Putin told you, look, man,